Hi, I thought I'd just jump on quick. Um, I had a strange experience last night. I was sleeping and not sleeping. I was in that in between, and I saw this vision of these women. And I found out they were the Carmelite martyrs from Compiègne in France, which I know nothing about. I know nothing about this story. Anyway, it was odd because I said that's got to be sort of medieval, because they had those old-fashioned hats which I didn't know the name of. They sort of stick out. Anyway, apparently I think they're called corvettes. I might be wrong on that. Please correct me if I am. Anyway, so this morning it was still sticking with me, and I had to research this, and I found out that these women were nuns. And they were in a special, that's something to do with Saint Teresa, and they lived together, and they lived a life of where they gave their whole life to Christ, and they lived quietly, and they spent their lives in prayer. You know, that's all they did. They weren't hurting anybody. In fact, they were helping the world by praying. But at the time, France was going through a revolution, and they were deemed as enemies of the state, these nuns, and they were accused of being supernatural, doing supernatural activities, praying, because they wouldn't because there was something that they were meant to do, which was to stop their lifestyle and to conform to what the state wanted, what they wanted them to do. They didn't want them praying. They were seen as an enemy by praying. So the government of the time decided to execute these women. Okay, so they had to be guillotined. And each one went up and was guillotined and they asked the Mother Superior first, is it okay? That's how much respect they have for the Mother Superior of the nuns. And they died. And I think it was a message for me. I'm not the most articulate, intelligent, person, but I can see what the message was. The message was our defense in fighting this tyranny and evil that's going on in France, here, all around the world, is to pray. It is to pray. Prayer works. Praying to God works, and also to meditate, because meditation and prayer, they don't want us meditating and praying. They don't want us being spiritual. These brave women went to their death. And I also wanted to say that it seems to be that this world is very, very frightened of spiritual, strong women. Very scared of that. I mean, these women, had given their life to Christ. And they were harming no one. They were just praying. But because they decided that it went against their system or shitstem, and that was because what? Because it was probably having an effect, their prayers, wasn't it? It was probably having a good effect. And it was probably, they were scared of these women. So they started trying to say they were supernatural, almost insinuating that these ladies of God were evil when they weren't. Because don't forget, the witches weren't evil either. A lot of them, the ones that were the herbalists, were burnt on the stake and burnt at the stake and hung and all the rest of it. And it was just, again, the strong women. And I also believe that they know that us intuitives, we didn't take the shot because we knew not to. And a lot of us spent years trying to warn others and were attacked for it, and, told we were tinfoil hat wearers, and some of us lost our jobs, some of us lost some of our families stopped speaking to us and our friends, and we had to go through a lot of people saying that we were crazy, and financial problems because we'd lost our works and all that sort of stuff. And here we are. And here we are now. And everything that us conspiracy theorists, as we were known as, which was just a name coined by the CIA, really, to mean someone with a brain, were proven right. So I believe that I got this message, to pass this message on to you, to pray more, to be of good faith, to pray to God, to meditate, because that's your defence against this evil tyranny that they're trying to impose on us. And also, they are saying there's going to be a new, they're always saying there's going to be a new virus. And I heard it was called seers. Now, if you know what a seer is, it's somebody who can see into the future. Although some people like to try make out that's mental illness. That's interesting, isn't it? Because they don't want you doing it. That's why. They don't want you to see with your third eye. They don't want you to pray to God. They don't want you to have any kind of intuitiveness whatsoever. They want you dumb down. As dumb as possible. They just want you to be able to do that job of yours and not to question anything and just to follow whatever they say. Nobody can have dissent. Nobody can even have a debate about things anymore. And I find with the young people, especially some of them, you know, they can't even cope with somebody having a different opinion from their own. You know, it's still going on today. You know, people are looking at people's social medias like some employers are. And if they don't like your opinions on there, there's a possibility they won't further on your interview. Because they've looked you up, which I think really is stalking. Because it should go on. Some people use their social media as a platform might be the only place they can say the things that they feel. So to be honest though, you know, for me, I'd stay true to myself. I stay true to myself. And if somebody doesn't like me and is that ignorant and that dumb, that they feel that they can't accept another person's views or even listen to another person's side of things and just listen to the mainstream media without questioning anything, I think they're the ones that have got a problem, because I question everything and I look up everything myself and then I decide what I believe. I don't follow along like a sheep. You know, I'm no sheeple. You know, and I feel that there's bad things that have gone on and we've been proven right there has been. So, but, you know, things are taken out of context. You know, you're not, you know, you might have lots of gay friends, but you might not agree with the agenda that's going on in the schools. And a lot of your gay friends probably don't agree with what's going on in the schools with, you know, trying to get boys to put dresses on age 10 and you know, telling people about puberty blockers at 5. And all the rest of it. You'll find that a lot of your gay friends will feel the same as you. And that's why we have to have conversation. And that's why they want to shut us down. That's why they don't want us talking. Because we're dangerous. Because if you remember the plot of Guy Fawkes, right? They were in little taverns when they were plotting that. I mean, it didn't work, but they were in taverns talking about it and stuff. So they're very frightened of people getting together and talking. I mean, if you go back to the Mods and Rockers, they were very scared of young men coming together on the beaches because it was a threat to them, to their stranglehold, basically, on the brainwashing that goes on. I mean, look at the words of your TV. You know, your TV is programming you. They're broadcasting. What are they broadcasting? What do you broadcast? Spells. You broadcast a spell. Spelling. You know, the English language is full of witchcraft words. And yet if you have any kind of psychic gifts, you are mad. You know, if you see ghosts, you need to be in a mental hospital probably, but there's not enough money for you in those spaces. What else? What I was going to say, anything that you do that is not to do with your minimum wage job, the cost of living crisis, or the latest thing they want you to be scared of, whether it be the latest pandemic, which they reckon there's going to be another one in 2024. I've heard there's going to be mosquitoes. I've heard so many different things. But I believe if I cast my cares onto God, it says, John 3:16, I will be saved. If I cast all my cares to God and I believe in God and that he is the Son of God and he rose again on the third day, which I believe. That's my belief. I don't push it on anyone else. I should be allowed to have that belief. And no one should ever be able to stop me from having that belief. And now we're not even allowed to silently pray on the street, Christians now. And Muslims as well, because they don't like them either. Don't you worry about that. Anybody who's of the Abrahamic religions of the book is now, you know, having to choose. You know, there is no way that you can not choose now, because the things that they are implementing are going to really confuse our children. You know, you cannot give in to a child who says it's a cat and wants its little tray in the classroom. That's affecting all those other kids learning. And what kind of parent is letting their child do that? It beggars belief. You know, okay, pretend to be a cat at playtime. When I was little, I wanted to be a monkey, you know, and I used to be a monkey, but not in school. When I finished school, I was 5, monkeying around all over the place. It hasn't much hasn't changed, actually. I was still monkeying around. But yeah, seriously, you know, I did. You know, I was a little kid and I wanted to be a monkey. But my mum wasn't like giving me a banana and saying she can only hang out in the tree at school. Anyway, I feel quite honoured. I feel quite honoured that I had that vision, and I felt that I needed to share it with you. So pray more, worry less, and meditate, because that is your defence against all the evil that is going on and all the tyranny they're trying to push on us. The power of prayer is amazing, and they knew that. So, you know, these poor women believed in God so surely they were willing to give up their lives for it. And now if you look at France now, you know, they're going through another kind of revolution, because this all happened in France. You know, the martyrs were from Compiègne in France, wherever that is. I don't know. But there was also a song they were singing. And I'll tell you the name of it, actually, because I wrote it down, because I'm going to go try and find it after I've done this. The song these wonderful ladies were singing was called, and I can't find nothing. I can't find it. Let me. What the hell? Oh, what the hell? Oh my! Don't look at my room. It's a mess at the minute. It was called Venti, 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 CREATOR, or was that Veni? It might be Veni. VENI CREATOR. SPIRITUS, which is spiritus. Anyway, that's enough of me for today, but I just wanted to come on because I feel quite honoured that I had that vision, and it has helped me so much, and I hope it helps somebody. God bless. Take care.